things of that nature. We're sharing a common interest, so we're trying to work together so we can win at that particular sport. All right, plain and simple. All right.
You want me to read number 3? Keep going.
No, let's go through this. Yes, please.
Number 3, a third form of intimacy is emotional intimacy.
Good God from Zion. We talked about this.
Where two persons can comfortably share their feelings with each other when they empathize,
meaning not feeling sorry, but understanding what that other person is going through. Just like you read in the beginning about the question. How do you feel when you're sad? How do you feel when you're upset? How do you feel when you're depressed? You see, I may not be depressed at that particular moment. Brother Josh may be going through something, and he may call me, Brother Tyrone, or he'll say, Brother Tyrone, I need to talk. He has done it many times. So at that time, that's an emotional intimacy, because he wants to release, and the only way he's going to be released is for him to reach out to me, and I have to be there to empathize with him, as well as to encourage him to get into a better state of mind to move forward. Play it, sir.
Really try to understand and try to be aware of the other person's emotional side.
There it is. Plain and simple.
And number 4, a fourth form of intimacy is sexual intimacy.
Okay, and that's where we as men get messed up at.
This is the stereotypical definition of intimacy that most people are familiar with. However,
where we at, brother? However, this form of intimacy includes I'm sorry. However, this form, just go ahead.
Of intimacy includes a broad range of sensuous activity, and is much more than just sexual intercourse.
That's right, sir. That's right.
It is any form of sensual expression with one another. Therefore, intimacy can be many things for different people at different times.
That's right. So it's not always a sexual act.
Nope.
And that's why we as men, we get in trouble. Brother Joshua already told you that sometimes we as men, we think with our second head, our penis head, and that's why it gets in trouble, because see, a woman wants to feel that she's loved before she gives you sex, but she'll give into that man because she feels that you're going to give her that intimate, emotional,
and that's where she goes wrong.
And that's where she goes wrong, because you as men, we're afraid to give commitment. All we want to do is knock it down, and we want to do raw dog and leave.
Tyrone got that from me.
Yeah, I got that from me, right? All right, Brother John, let's go down to what does it mean to be intimate, and let's move to this.
Our souls crave intimacy.
That's right, absolutely.
Erwin Raphael McManus.
Okay, so that means every one of us, each one, male and female, all of us need intimacy.
Yep.
So don't think that men don't need it. You need it too as well, men, but you got to learn how to open up to receive it. You always want to get the sex, but you need emotional intimacy as well, because you go through your hell and your ups and downs, and you don't have nobody to release it to. So what you do, you act out in violence to release it, but that's not how to do it. And that's how Brother Josh has learned. He said he's been going through, sometimes he called me, and I help him through that. That's emotional intimacy, when you can be able to share your thoughts and your ideas and share without being condemned, but you know you're going to be respected and loved. That's where that relationship starts to build at. All right, brother.
Being intimate means intimacy.
Into me, and I got to see within me. That's what we're talking about, the man in the mirror. Here we go again.
Being intimate involves the mixing of our life with another. A mingling of souls, a sharing of hearts.
Yes.
This is something we all long for, because it's how God made us.
That's right, absolutely.
We are designed to connect.
That's right.
Real intimacy is more than sex.
That's right. So we have to learn how to connect, men. We have to learn how to connect. Before you learn how to be, we go back to the question we were talking about earlier, Josh. Why do we have a problem with intimacy? Is because we don't know how to connect. We're afraid to connect. We don't want to feel soft. We don't want to be talked about. We don't want to be ridiculed. We don't want to be bullied.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that's where the problem is. So until we can get over that, see, I don't have no problem with Brother Josh or any other brothers, because see, I'm willing to share my emotions with them, so I ain't no big deal. You know what I'm saying? But until we get to that point, you're going to always have a problem in a relationship, because you're so afraid that your quote-unquote masculinity is going to be judged or magnified and say that you're not a man. Okay, so that's what the problem is, and that's what we got to get over. All right.
Sex is an intimate expression, but it's not intimacy.
That's right, brother.
In his book, Soul Cravings, Erwin Raphael McManus writes, sex can be the most intimate and beautiful expression of love.
All right.
But we are only lying to ourselves when we act as if sex is proof of love.
That's right. Absolutely.
Too many men demand sex as proof of love.
See?
Too many women have given sex in hopes of love.
You see, there it is.
We live in a world of users where we abuse each other to know the pain of aloneness.
Yes.
We all long for intimacy, and physical contact can appear as intimacy,
Yes.
at least for the moment.
Yes.
True story.
Man, did you hear what Brother John said there? We just went over it. Man want to get, it says, too many men demand sex as proof of love. Men, all they want to do is knock it down. I just might as well be real with you. We just want to get the sex, get our rocks off. But a woman, she'll give the man the sex in return for love, but 9 times out of 10, she never gets it.
It ain't there.
It ain't there. That's why you got women out here 4 or 5 babies, because she's looking for love in all the wrong places. And that man is never going to be committed to her because he really never cared about you in the first place. So don't give up your goodies, lady, until you see commitment and see real emotion out of that man. Well, you think, well, if I give him sex, he'll start showing emotion. No. If he don't show that emotional intimacy when y'all start dealing with each other, don't deal with him, because it'll be very hard to get it out of him. All right?
True story.
All right.
When Janet married Ryan,
Mm-hmm.
she was convinced that even though they were not emotionally close before getting
Wow.
there's mistake number 1.
There's mistake 1 wrong.
That sex would change all. There's mistake number 2.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
After all, she's seen the movie. She had watched television where 2 hearts blended into one more.
Mm-hmm.
They become sexually evolved.
Yes.
Sadly, she was heartbroken when the emotional sad connectedness she longed for didn't show up after she made it to bed.
That's right.
Real intimacy is not found by just merging bodies in sex.
Yes.
When Jesus said, and the 2 shall become one, I can't help but think that he meant more than just the physical,
That's
which
right.
he did.
That's right, he did.
After all, how many couples go to bed at night, share their bodies but not their hearts?
Yes.
A lot.
Stop right there. You share your bodies, but not your heart. So that's empty love. That's empty sex. Anything, Brother John, I'm gonna say this, and you may think it's wild, but I heard this from a girl a while back. She said this to me. She said, you know, I go to bed, and I tell you, if I go to bed with a guy, he ain't committed to me. All I do is wake up with a wet bed, and a wet butt.
I don't get that.
Okay, what it means is you get the sexual act, and after he comes and she comes, she's gonna be wet. Her butt gonna be wet, and her bed's gonna be wet, but there's no connection there.
I get it now.
You got it now?
Yeah.
So it's worthless. It's empty. The relationship is empty because there's no emotions there. Nothing.
Undoubtedly, many of these people would say they are very lonely. Why? Because just as a garden hose is not the source of water, but only an expression
There you go. It's just a vessel that use it to bring the water to you.
or a vehicle for it.
There you go, brother. Yes.
So sex is not the source of intimacy,
There
but
you
an
go.
outlet.
It's an outlet.
No matter how hard you try, if real emotional and spiritual intimacy does not exist before sex,
That's right.
it most certainly won't after.
Absolutely. That is so true. So there's the key right there, man. Now, you fear intimacy because, see, now you trying to get into a relationship and all you want is the sex. The woman needs the other part. She needs the emotion. So if you're looking, women, you better listen to us very carefully. If you're looking at that young man, you say, oh, he fine, he's so cute. Girl, I'm gonna give him some night. And I know all I gotta do is give him something. I got him. Well, we might as well be real about it. We might as well be real because
I'm laughing because so many people would do that on the bus. It's hilarious.
yeah, I'm gonna give him some. I'm gonna have him. I'm gonna put it on him like Mike Tyson. You know?
And some girls, they don't exactly make us chase it.
Yeah. Yeah, they just give it to you. Yeah, it's just there.
It really made me mad today when because I don't know how old she was. She was probably about 15.
Okay.
She was sitting in the bus terminal with shorts this up here,
Yeah.
all this right here. I was like, if I was further, I would have beat her tail before she
Yeah,
walked
because
out
see,
that
they
house.
give you, my aunt used to make a statement to me before she died when I was in high school. She said, women today, and this was back in the 70s. She said, women today don't leave nothing to the imagination for the man.
They don't.
I want to imagine. You know, it's good to see a beautiful woman dressed nicely. I like that. But being provocative and all, okay, that's what you want to do, but he's not going to bring you home to his mother because you don't respect yourself. So women, you have to put a standard, make a standard, and if that man is not going to be emotionally connected, if you don't have that when you first start talking to that young man, I use that term loosely, young man or man, If he don't show that emotional connection, leave him alone, because you're not going to get it. Brother Josh has said, you think you're going to get it. He read the story. You think you're going to do it after you give him sex. 9 times out of 10, you ain't going to get it.
Real intimacy makes us feel known.
Okay? Read that, Brother Josh.
Real intimacy makes us feel alive, like we've been found.
That's right. Now, I want to stop right there, because I know when we first started this organization, coming up on six years in September, I didn't know how y'all brothers were going to react to this. I didn't know. God just said, go ahead and do this. So when I started talking to y'all, and I started talking individually, I talked to each one of y'all individually, I didn't know how y'all was going to react to this. So when I started talking, I started to see a bond between us, because you said, yeah, man, you know, that's right. You know, I started telling y'all about what I want to do and all this stuff, and I felt the bond there. That made me it brought me alive, and then I started talking to y'all, man, yeah, man, I want to be a part of it. And then when you start coming to me, oh man, this is good. You see what I'm saying? It brings you alive. Now you really alive now, because you look forward to coming to the broadcast, doing this and all stuff. That's what I'm saying. So until you, as a man, have found that emotional tie to your brother, to your children, and to your wife, or to that woman in your life, and have that emotional bond, you'll never know what full life is about. Because that's what God came here. He said, I came that you may have life and have it more abundantly. That's what he said. All right. Man, this is good stuff, Brother Josh. This is good.
If someone finally took the time to peer into the depths of our soul and really see us there. Until then, until we experience true intimacy,
yes,
we will feel passed over and ignored.
That's right.
Like someone is looking right through us.
That's right.
But you know who's looking right through us? God.
Yes, yes.
Because he sees our character flaws.
He sees our character flaws. So that's why the mirror is so important, Brother Josh, as we look into the mirror. I know I got flaws, and I try to work on them every day. You know, we all have to work. It's not something that's going to change overnight.
We all have flaws within us. And like my father used to say, Rome wasn't built in a day.
That's right, absolutely.
So
that's right.
It takes that time for you just don't develop feelings for someone like
Absolutely.
right away.
That's right, you don't.
Like,
it takes time.
Especially with the intimacy part.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
with me and my girlfriend, it took me a while to
Sure.
I'm gonna tell the story. When I first came to Threshold, I liked her. But I never really approached her.
Right. Why? Because the fear factor.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get into that.
Yeah, and then it was like I told one of my friends, and he went back and told her, and then she
approached you.
She came up to me. She's like, "I heard you liked me." I was like, "What? Where'd you hear that from?" Like I tried to play it off.
Try to play it off.
But then I took her. We went to Eno River State Park. And
Okay. Yeah.
I just walked with her and talked with her. And we hit it off from there.
Okay. Good.
But it was my fear of approaching her.
There you go. That's right. But then, as you talk with her, you had to release some of that emotional stuff in you to have that bond and that connection with her.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Good. Very good, Josh. Very good.
Sadly, we can miss out on intimacy. That can make us and another person feel known.
Yes.
When we predetermine what we think we should see when we examine their life, heart, personality, and soul. When this happens, we will try to mold and make them into who we believe they should be.
Yes.
I'm going to read that again.
Very, very important there.
When this happens, we will try to mold and make them into who we believe they should be.
So why do we do it? Stop. You ain't got to go no further. Why do we do that, Brother Josh? And why?
Because we want to see what we see in our mind, how we want to portray them.
So we want to make them to what we want them to be instead of
letting them be themselves.
Exactly.
We got our dumbness in our mind says, "Oh no, we got to change her to the way we want." And then that's why most women leave a man because
he tried to change him.
Yep. Or that's why a man leaves a relationship because the woman tries to change him.
Exactly.
He's not going to change somebody. That person has to make that change within themselves.
Absolutely.
If they don't make that change within themselves, then how are you going to expect them to do something if you don't?
You hitting hard, Brother Josh. Michael Jackson said it. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Yep. Good God, if you ain't willing to change, you're not going to change. Good God.
Real intimacy begins with you.
There it is. With you. With you. With you. You hear what I just said? With you.
Yes.
That's where it starts.
With you.
Good God, man.
Perhaps you are wondering how you can build an intimate relationship.
Yes.
In addition to accepting another person just how they are. Note, this does not mean accepting any form of abuse.
That's right. You ain't got to say abuse. All right.
Real intimacy can only begin once you know yourself.
Here it is.
So you have to go on that soul searching journey for yourself.
There you go, brother.
That's why I don't know if it's in the Bible, but they sent him out into the wilderness and he became back a man. I don't know if it was in the Bible or not, but I was watching something and they sent the young boy into the wilderness to fend for himself. And when he come back, he a man.
Well, what it is, that's where you have time to find yourself.
Yeah, that's what the Indians do. They call it, I forgot what they call it, but they send him out, make him search. But not only that, but as a man or a woman, we should already know who we are as ourselves.
Yes, before we even get into...
And what our values and what we want in a relationship before we even get into a relationship.
Absolutely,
because
brother
if we're in that relationship,
absolutely,
and our character flaws come out,
that's right.
The relationship goes all to hell.
Yeah, because then we when we spring it up on them, well, you ain't never tell me you was like that.
Oh man, you changed.
Yeah.
But see, it's not only you changed, they changed as well.
Yes. Because we're trying to pretend to be something that we're not.
That mask.
To bring the relationship together, and then actually we're not compatible.
Nope.
Because we're not willing to release all that stuff in us before all that happens. And you're right, Brother John. We have to know ourselves first before we get in a relationship, because once you know yourself, you can tell a person, this is how I am, this is my goals, this is my plans, this is what I'm going for.
And if you ain't with it, you can get out my life.
Well, and if you want to say that way, yeah.
I mean, like, I don't mean like get out of my life.
Yeah.
Like,
but you
let me roll what I want to do in life without you holding me back.
Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, that's true.
And some men and women in relationships hold one another back.
They do.
Because if you
it could be abusive.
Yeah.
Verbally,
physically, or sexually. And as a man, we're not going to put up with that.
Yeah.
Because once we go back into that corner, we come out fighting.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And many of the times, it comes out as abuse toward the woman.
Absolutely. I agree. Powerful, brother. Awesome.
Fear of intimacy in men.
Wow. Here we go.
Fear of intimacy in men cause relationship problems. Tips.
Here we go.
Men can be afraid of relationships for a few basic reasons.
All right, now we're going to get down into why men are afraid of intimacy and why it causes problems in relationships, and why men can't have successful relationships, whether it's with their children, with the woman in their life, or other men when they're trying to establish relationships. So let's get down with this. I'm going to read one or two, because I know Brother Jonathan, he loves to read. I'm going to read one or two of these real quick, and then we're going to get down, because now we're going to really get down into some things that we need to go through very quickly.
I'm going to read number one, you read number two.
All right, brother.
Do men fear relationships more than women? Yes, we do. Because we as men, we're not committed.
That's right. We're not committed. That's true.
I got to say nothing more than that.
That's true, bro. That's true.
The truth is hard to tell. Measuring fear of intimacy among men and women in a research sense is tricky. But one study attempted it and found that men scored higher on a fear of intimacy scale.
You're right.
Goes back to that story I just told.
Yeah.
I scared the first my girl.
You're right.
To women who have known men terrified in relationships, this research will come as no surprise.
That's right, absolutely. Men are often afraid of letting their guard down. That's the fear factor, because it's a risk factor, and we as men don't like taking risks when it comes to our emotions. All right, it's a risk factor, and being vulnerable than women. So it would make sense if they fear relationships more than women. The media is always reporting about the different ways boys and girls are socialized, and many of us.
That's so true.
It is. It's so true. It is absolutely true. And many of us see such gender-restricted parenting among folks within our social circles, because it does appear that boys and girls, at least historically, have been socialized differently. It would make sense that girls who are socialized to engage, that means to talk, that means to relate, that means to release their emotions in cooperative play, grow up to be the women who are better at handling emotions and relationships. Listen to the key. Look at the reverse side. Then the boys who are socialized to engage in competitiveness, meaning in sports. You see the difference? Women are taught, or young girls are taught, how to deal with themselves in early areas. They knowing themselves, releasing their emotion and building relationships, but men are taught and socialized to be competitive in nature and to play physical. That's their goals. So on the other hand, and grow up to be men who are less comfortable with vulnerability and emotional and intimacy in relationships. So that's what we have a problem at, right there. All right, brother Josh. Let's go down to how men. No, we don't. Let's go down to how men contribute.